Hello. Welcome to
Hello.
Friday Night Reading Sprints, everyone. Hi, Kirsty. Feels like a while since we've done one of these together.
A little while, I think. Yeah, I've popped along to a few, but off camera.
Yeah, I've been a bit rubbish with them. I got in a really good patch of doing a couple a week and really enjoying them, and life just keeps getting in the way. Like my Thursday night, I've really tried not to miss those, and the other night, last night even, I had to unavoidably miss it. Yeah, I don't know what it is since January. I feel like there's been like loads going on and I just can't quite get into routine with anything. I'm hoping that this year's going to calm down a little bit because, I don't know, it just seems like a weird start to the year for me.
Yeah, loads going on, non-writing deadline related.
Yeah, kind of both. Life, my actual day job, being really busy, although I only do that for 2 days a week, like having a 4-year-old, a nearly 4-year-old anyway. Yeah, just life.
Gosh. When's he 5?
So he's 4 next week.
He's 4 next week.
Yeah.
So he won't be going to school until next September.
Yeah, this coming September. So yeah.
Oh, is this coming?
Yeah.
They go at 4.
Yeah, 4 turning 5. So
lose
they turn 5.
Yeah.
They legally have to go when they're 5, I think. So he could, potentially not start until he turns 5.
Right.
But he's ready for school, 100%. He's so into learning and stuff. They were doing about Andy Goldsworthy artwork yesterday, and he came and he said, "Mummy, there's this man who makes artwork outside," and he was telling me all about it, all these different stones and stuff. And I was like, "Is he called Andy Goldsworthy by any chance?" He was like, "Yes, that's him," and he absolutely loved it. Like he just certain things.
And he probably thought Mummy was really cool for knowing.
It's only because I work at a curriculum company and we have resources. It's not that I'm really well versed in artwork. Because I told my mum and dad this story, and they were like, "Who's Andy Goldsworthy?" And I was like, "Oh, do you not know?" I'm like, "It's only because I do it." Apparently, he's quite famous. I don't know. I was looking at where I can take Nathan to show him some real examples of his sculptures and stuff, and there are some in the UK. I think there's one in Yorkshire somewhere. Yeah, of course I'll get him all the way there though, and he'll be like, "Nope, not bothered. I just wanted to make my own sculptures of sticks and stuff." So I'm just going to jump into the comments because a couple have popped up, and then let's find out what you are working on. Hi, Hannah and Other Stories. That sounds very interesting. I mean, I know for a fact, Sharon, it's going to be horror shorts. When I read that title and I know it's you, I really enjoyed the. I always get the names of things wrong when I'm put on the spot. The Indie Horror Book Club. That's it. Indie Horror Book Club pick this month was again, I'm going to get the name wrong. I think it's Europe Falls. Sharon will tell us how to pronounce it. It was really fun. It was a slasher, like very much Scream. I know he did last summer vibes.
I'm gonna read the second one soon, I think. And then I think the third one comes out soon. Yeah, it was good fun, and obviously liked it enough to read on to the second one. So
definitely.
I don't know if it is a trilogy, if it's then finishing at the end of that.
Yeah, good point. I think there are 3 books out, but I don't know whether that is where it ends. Oh, thank you. It was so lovely when it arrived the other day. It came quicker than I expected. I thought it was going to arrive early next week because Hazel from my publisher emailed me and said it was in, I don't know if it arrived at the university because it's a university press, and then it has to go to the warehouse and then to me. So I was like, oh, that'll take ages. It turned up yesterday when I was super busy about to pick Nathan up from school, and I was like, quick, I just need to open this box and see what's in it. So that's why it's really haphazard and not on a nice track.
They do look stunning together. I thought they would. I'm so jealous of your colour combo.
I'm really lucky because
the purple and the teal.
Book 1 UConn chose, and then I chose the other 2 colours. So it was really nice that they let me pick what I wanted because that doesn't generally happen. I need to look at it with Taste of Darkness, actually. I've not actually put it with Taste of Darkness because obviously Taste of Darkness is more green and that's teal. I'll have to put the 4 of them together and see what they look like. And I haven't shown the chapter headers yet, but the chapter headers are really pretty. They look quite similar to Taste of Darkness, but they're more like Spanish moss trailing down as opposed to whatever Taste of Darkness, Spooky Branches, I think, was it?
Has it got the edges again? Or was that just the first book?
No edges. The first 2 had it, but book 2, for whatever reason, there were loads of problems with the printing. Like it had loads of gaps in the edges. and cutting issues and stuff, and they just couldn't figure out what had happened with it. So they decided, and I kind of said, yeah, that's fine. Because some bookshops were like returning them and stuff and saying that they weren't happy with the quality. It's like, well, it's, we did the first book and it was fine. The second book was printed slightly differently, so I can only assume it's that. But because of that, we didn't want to upset all the bookshops, so we just had to go slightly different. But if they figure it out, I think in future print runs they'll put the edges back on. But for now, it just seemed safer to not. And actually, they do look quite dark, the edges, because of the chapter edge things still being there.
Yeah.
They don't look super different, because I was a bit worried about that if they looked really stark white, but they actually don't. So it's fine. It's just one of those things. I do. He's such a boy. Yeah, it's still really bad. How would you pronounce it, Kirsty? Is it European? I feel like last time I was talking to Sharon said it correctly, and I can't remember what she said.
European? European? I don't know.
Oh, it's a trilogy. So the last one is coming out in May. Excellent.
Good.
Oh, thank you. It is really close. It's shockingly close. I'm like, soon I'll be saying next month. Yeah, agreed. So, I mean, it would be nice if they all match, but I kind of respect the decision of the person who designed it. And she just said, like, we can't guarantee that this is going to work. So,
yeah.
I was like, there's lots of reasons that could have caused it, but nothing we can do anything about, like whether it was the printers where they cut it, or because I didn't realize they put edges on books and then they you'd think that they'd use the right size paper, but they use bigger paper and cut it.
Yeah.
Which I did not know.
I only know that because of when you get one where like one random page is folded in, and then you smooth it out and you have to trim it. My friend and I were talking about that today randomly.
Yeah, I think that happened to me before I was an author. I don't know, but yeah, odd times it has happened in recent years. But I was surprised when I got it first, like the typeset pages, and there was this sort of edge around it, and I was like, "Ooh, what's that for?" It's because they cut it. It doesn't seem like a very logical way to do it, does it? I feel like the paper should be pre-cut like that.
Yeah. Haven't been along to see any of your books being printed then?
No, I haven't. I don't really know how that happens. I'm assuming you get invited to do that, and I haven't been. I don't know whether it's certain printers that do it and certain ones don't. I have no idea. I just know that they get sent to print, and then a few weeks later they turn up. And that's.
I would ask for the next one.
Yeah, I mean, I could do. I suppose I've never actually asked, so I don't know whether they would have said yes if I had. To be honest, I'm normally too busy. Once I send the book off, I'm like, right, on to the next thing. Can't think about that one just now. Oh, they do. I'm so pleased. I put them next to each other, like heart kind of pounding, like, is this going to be one of those up and down situations? And I think there will always be some slight variation because of the cutting, as I've realised there can be such, like with book 2, when I got the stack of them together, I actually could see that just from where they were cut, there was slight variation. But yeah, the actual design is all consistent because I checked, but obviously the cutting. I mean, agreed. I agree that spines need to look nice. Hi, Stephen. Thank you for coming on, everyone. Sorry about changing the night. It was a long story short. We got a new mattress that said don't sleep on it, so we slept at my mum's, and I didn't want to sit in sprints there. So yeah, I thought I'd change the night. I quite like a Friday. It feels nice to end the week. And something relaxing, doing work. You are relaxing tonight, Kirsty, for once. You've come on to read. So do you want to tell us what you're reading tonight?
So I am going to be reading your book club's book, The Babysitter's Coven. I haven't started it yet, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've owned the trilogy for a while, so hopefully I will read this and then carry on and read the other two and have a series finished, and then there'll be your series that I'll have finished this year. It'll be like amazing.
It is nice to finish the series. It's a bit sad though, lots of strange feelings about it that I won't go into now. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I've just read the first couple of chapters of The Babysitter's Coven. I wish I'd got the hardcover though. I'm a bit miffed. I bought the paperback, I think in Forbidden Planet when it came out, and they tend to have paperbacks of, like they have the UK editions. I'm assuming will that probably be a US hardcover? Maybe.
I think so. Let's have a look. Who is it published by? Yeah, US Random House.
Yeah, sometimes the US ones kind of, you can get them on UK online retailers or they sneak into some shops. But I think generally YA books, they prefer, if they're UK led, they prefer to do it paperback. As far as I know. Oh, thanks, Stephen. Ooh, what did you think of it, Kay? I haven't got far enough into it to make a judgment. I like what I've read so far.
Same.
Really routine of putting a little person down to sleep and then writing or reading or something. So yeah, we're all in good company here. So I am working on three things I want to do tonight, one in each sprint. I'm working on a freelance project that's just something that I'm doing that I've said I won't talk about. It's not anything that anybody will ever find out about. It's just one of those things. And I'm working on my new book that I've literally just started working on. And I don't know whether you get this, Kirsty, but I'm at this difficult point where I'm trying to figure out my way into it. And like, I know a few key things, but not enough, anywhere near enough to start writing it, not even enough to start plotting it, really. Like, I've got vibes. And I texted me a couple of things that I'd thought of, and she was like, that sounds so fun. But it's not enough. Like, I've got a couple of fun characters, a fun town, I think. But the premise isn't strong enough yet, and I just need to figure out what kind of book it is. Like, it seems to be quite romantic and quite mystery-led as usual, and I'm just figuring out what's dominant here.
How much do you tend to write before you then start plotting?
I tend to do, like, I've done a big mind map of research, which is in the vague area of what I knew it was going to be about, and I'd already got a more specific idea than that, but I like doing research because it does always give me a few good little nuggets of ideas. So that gave me an idea, and then I'm going to try Save the Cat plotting this time, which I've got here. Save the Cat Writes a Novel, because I've just read it recently, because I thought I've never really properly plotted. I've only plotted to the beat of my own drum before, and I thought I might actually try properly Save the Catting, and it does seem pretty good, like it might fit, most novels. So I'm going to give that a go, but I'm going to be miffed if it makes it really easy, because I've like struggled through writing and plotting 3 books and not done this. So we'll see. So yeah, this is going to be my tool. So I'm going to be reading bits of this tonight. What do you tend to do?
I have read that. The Golden Egg Academy gave us something, which works quite well. It's just sort of like a 10-point plotting structure. But I have picked up Save the Cat Writes a young adult novel, so I'm interested to see what the difference is between that and the original.
I might have to get that as well. Like you said, just to compare. And it's interesting, there's bits in it that are about different genres. So I'm going to read the 3 genre chapters that I'm the closest to, I think, are horror, mystery, and romance. So I'm going to read the 3 chapters for those and try and figure out which one my new idea is. This is my problem. I tend to write in between all 3, and it might help if I actually stick a bit more to one, I think.
Yeah, it's really interesting actually, because there is a Save the Cat for the screenwriting one.
Yes.
There is a beat sheet for The Lost Boys.
Oh, is there?
But because obviously my book is not an exact replica, it wasn't that helpful. I was like, it was helpful on certain bits, but I was like, yeah, but that won't happen in mine, so that's not going to work. And then I was like, oh,
the problem I had with it is it uses quite a lot of examples of books I've not read, and I was like, oh, there's that book spoiled then. It does warn you that there's spoilers, and I was like, well, I do need to read this, so I'm going to have to, like, I've not read The Help, and I was like, actually, I've just found out just about everything about this book. I would like to read a beat sheet of a book that I know really well, just to see how it flows, because I've not tried using it yet. I would quite like to find one, maybe of a Stephen King book or something. I bet people have written them, just to try it out.
Yeah, I think when we were looking at it in Golden Egg, we often did it for films as well as books, but everybody had a slightly different idea of what each of the beats were, which was quite interesting, I thought. And also, obviously, it misses out so much. So you kind of look at it and you're like, oh, but there's this bit that isn't like integral to the plot, but it's integral to the heart of the story or whatever else. So it's it's a really interesting kind of.
And there's a bit called Fun and Games in the middle, which is like, oh, this is the longest bit, and it's the multiple scenes bit, and I'm like, oh, this is the bit of the book I struggle with, and it's the one I'm getting the least help on, because it just basically says have loads of fun stuff happen, and I'm like, I know that, but I need more help with that. It's the saggy middle bit that I always struggle with, like the kind of, I always know the start. For this one, I'm currently thinking of, I don't know the end, which is a problem. But the middle's the bit I always need more help with. And this book, I would say that isn't, for me, the strongest bit of it. So yeah, maybe the young adult one might be useful, because I could see if I can glean anything else from it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I'm having like a hardcover envy now. It happens a lot. Excellent. Interesting. Yeah, I was trying not to say too much about the book club ones just because I want to kind of give and get an authentic reaction from people. And the third thing I'm going to do is I need to package up some copies of Mina and the Cult, because I've got a few that I can send to people. So I'm kind of prioritizing like YouTubers and TikTokers that I know have like read and reviewed the others and that have reliably talked about it a lot, because I'm like, well, at this point, it's really hard to promote a series because I don't know, like people, if they pick up a book, they're going to pick up the first book, aren't they? So I've got to send the third book out kind of carefully, and I haven't got many copies this time. I was looking with the proofs. UConn just kept sending them my way, and I was like, oh, more I can send out. So I need to.
And it's just finished copies this time.
I me and my agent both pushed for proofs for the second book, and I'm glad we did, because I think it really helped. But I think by the third book in the series, like I said, I don't know that it's going to attract new readers.
It's not uncommon to not do it for the last book, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky. I think a lot of my friends who have had a series got proofs for the first one and then not others, so I felt lucky that they did it for the second. To be honest, I just took that as a bonus. Okay, let's mark where we're up to. So I need to be quite focused because I'm working on 3 different things. So if you see me, like, I do want to pick my phone up very briefly, and then I'm going to just get my head stuck in to save the cat.
Yeah, I'm going to go and get some snacks, and then I'll come back and read.
My pet provide a snack, so I'm going to be eating giant chocolate buttons.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Okay,
Well, I went to Tesco earlier and got some clearance, last day stuff. So.
Oh, excellent. Nice little array of goodies. That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to put the 40-minute timer on. I think we'll probably do 40, then 40, then 30, like I've been doing lately. That seems to work. Because by the last one, normally I'm like limping to the finish line. I may be up and downstairs tonight. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, in theory, I'm going to do 40 minutes and see you on the other side and be here working full time.
Yeah, see you soon. Take care.
Hello. Oh, I think you muted, Kirsty. Oh, that's it.
Cat gave a delayed meow.
Yeah, I know. It really confused me because the timer started counting down like the break, and I was like, is this thing gonna meow? Or anyway, how did you get on?
Not that well because I was eating. Oh. So I've just read the first chapter. Yeah, it's good fun so far. Reminds me of my old times babysitting.
Yeah, same. I like how the voice is quite kind of pithy and feels like a real teenager. Like, just the way she thinks seems quite authentic to me. Although I don't get some of the pop culture references, or like she used a couple of acronyms, and I was like, oh, am I meant to know what that is? So
yeah,
I think
it took me a while.
It feels quite American, some of it, which obviously not a bad thing. It's just like I just don't get some of it. Yeah, I think I can see where it's going. I think now, and I mean, the title kind of tells you, doesn't it? A little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it sounds fun. I mean, I used to take a book to read, and I remember, I think when I was in my like mid to late teens, however old you are, you've got to be to babysit. I read it while I was babysitting, and that was not a particularly wise choice of reading material.
Yeah, I babysat quite young because my goddaughter's only 10 years younger than me. So I ended up kind of babysitting for her like in my early teens, I think. And then I babysat in my sort of later teens with Kev. So that was quite nice that we just used to watch films and stuff and like watch them in other people's houses. It was almost like playing at being grown-ups. Like we'd put on our TV, and they'd leave you snacks and stuff and you felt like you were an adult. And as a baby, we babysat for a few times and the baby was already asleep by the time we got there. Or we saw them briefly and then they went to bed. So it was like the easiest money you'd ever make babysitting, mostly. It's not like it is in the books where the kids run riot and or disappear in the night or something. And
no, it's exactly the same. It doesn't really prepare you for having kids, I don't think.
No,
babysitting,
not even a little bit. No, it's like being a grandparent. Like you get the good parts of being a kid and then get to give them back, having a kid and then give them back. But it's not, you don't get all the the bits as well, I suppose. I should add that at the end. I'm really enjoying Sacred Cat.
Yeah. Good.
So I've read it before, but like out of the context of writing a book, I've just read it. So now I'm reading it and like thinking of how this could tie in. And it actually is helping. The stuff that I don't know about the character is helping me to figure out. So I think rather than doing something else in the second one, because I've just built up a bit of momentum and I've got a feeling a little person upstairs might keep shouting me, I might as well just continue making notes on Save the Cat because I can put that down easily. And I am enjoying it. I feel like it's starting to flow a bit in my brain. I'm just wondering whether it'll be able to take me all the way through, or there a bit of it where I go, this doesn't fit, I can't work with this. But we will see. Let's see how people in the comments are doing. That sounds excellent. I've just bought some miniature ones ready for little boy's birthday next week. Yes. Oh, hi, Vix. Thank you for popping on. We chatted in real life the other night on Elizabeth Sagewood's, again, a book club. I'm like thinking of the names. Haunted Victorian Book Club, this one, about Phantom of the Opera. Have you read that? That was a weird one.
No, I have got it, but I haven't read it.
I don't even know what to say about it, really. I did enjoy it overall, I think. Like, there were bits I really enjoyed, but the bits where I was just like, what is happening? Who are these characters? Like, it makes you feel a little bit, I don't know. Some books, it's not really clear who the characters are and it's not super clear what's happening. And I don't know whether it's because it's a translation and that's kind of on the translator or whether that's the kind of original version thing. But there's just something, it's a little bit hard to follow about it. And we all kind of had the same experience. So I'm going to watch the film.
And I guess the film or the musical is so iconic as well, isn't it? That I'm sure it's not the same.
Yeah, and maybe that's what some people thought. I think some of us had seen it and some of us hadn't. I haven't seen any version of it for some reason.
Have you not?
I feel like I would enjoy it. I don't know why. So I'm going to try watching I want to say Jared Butler film. Is it Jared Butler who plays the Phantom?
Yeah. I used to have the soundtrack on repeat when I was younger. My nan had a few albums. I think Aspects of Love was another one that were recorded onto tape. And I used to listen to them.
Excellent. Let's have a look. Something just popped up in the comments. I'm reading the new John Mars book. I don't know who that is. Have you heard of that author before?
No.
Mars? My eyes are so bad. I'm like, is that an O or an A?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the family experiment. I'm going to have to look that up. I've got no idea what that's about, who that is. I'm guessing it might be spooky if Vix knows about it, but I know that you read everything, Vix. That doesn't necessarily... Not as like Sharon, as that's a fairly certain indicator it's going to be spooky or terrifying.
Yeah. Although, what did I saw Sharon had read something on Goodreads the other day, and I was like, that's not a Sharon book, because it wasn't horror. I can't remember what it is now.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, it wasn't horror, and it kind of seemed a little bit out of place.
Oh. Yeah, it was my granddad who was the musicals fan, but he was more, I'm really bad at the names, but there was a certain, is it Rodgers and Hammerstein that do stuff like Carousel and things like that? There's a certain, he was basically in an amateur operatic society, and they did ones by a particular company. So,
right.
Oh God, the Mikado, Carousel, there were quite a few that I got to know really well because like my granddad was in them, and it was really nice to... Sometimes I went to watch stuff with him, and sometimes I got to see him be in them. And my grandma did the set, like design and help with the props and stuff. So
yeah, I'm heading to London in a couple of weeks for Gallant's Fest, and my friends and I are hoping to go and see a musical the night before. We're just going to buy tickets on the day, I think, but we've also just booked tickets to the theatre diner, where the staff sing from musicals while they're serving you and stuff like that. So
that sounds fun.
I'm excited.
I've done that in New York. It's called Ellen Stardust Diner there. It's really good because it's people who are trying to get on Broadway generally, or some people who even work on Broadway and then are also there, and they're just amazing. The people, like, you just think, why you're not on the stage right now, because it's like they're doing a proper...
Yeah, I've been following them on TikTok, and I was like, to my friends, I was like, shall we do this? And they went, go on then. So yeah, very excited.
In the New York one, they kind of like they step on tables that people aren't sitting at and stuff like that, or they stand on the bar thing in between. So it's like they're right there and singing. And the best one I saw was somebody sang Ursula's song from Little Mermaid, the name of which has completely gone out of my head.
Unfortunate Souls.
That's the one. My brain's going, be prepared, be prepared. I'm like, nope, that's Scar. Wrong villain. I've been playing Disney Dreamlight Valley, so I think Scar's on my mind because I'm at a like Scar bit of the storyline. Have you played that? It's really good.
No.
It's worth it. Like, if you can get hold of it on any console, I don't know what it is, but like if you're a Disney fan, it's just a really fun, like, extra kind of addition to the mythology, and like the way that all the different characters kind of come together is really cool. And there's a mission to find Jack Skellington, and you've got to find these tiny little dolls. I'm like, I really want to find these 2 other dolls, but they randomly you can't even cheat and find out where they are online. So I'm like trawling this whole valley that I've like built. That it's sort of it's one of those where you open up different worlds, and I've got the whole thing just sitting there like with these 2 dolls hidden somewhere. I just really want Jack.
It's quite funny. All the menu choices are like musical puns, so I'm like, do I have to sing my menu choice?
Maybe.
I think I'm eyeing up the quesadilla. Tell me what's wrong.
That's cool. I need to go to it. I didn't know there was one in London. I mean, I'm not surprised really, because London like can rival New York, can't it, for theatre?
Yeah, I don't think it's been there like hugely long. They had a cafe that I think closed, and then the diner has opened a bit more recently. I think.
Cool. I've not been to the theatre for probably maybe 5 years. I think I'm going to wait until I've got a little person who's old enough to go with us. And for now, it's too risky, because if we can't sit through the cinema, I don't want to pay 50
No,
quid
it's not cheap. It's not cheap to be running out.
No, definitely not. Oh, just like to
You're allowed.
Did you? That's amazing that you did it actually with your granddad. See, I was too young really, because by the time he stopped doing it, I was still a child. But there was like a kids version of it, and I did do that. And at one point we were going to put on Blood Brothers, which in hindsight seems super inappropriate. I don't know what adult decided that a bunch of kids was going to do Blood Brothers, and I was like the villain, Mrs. Lyons or Mrs. Lyons or whatever. And again, who would cast me as the villain? I don't know. it would have been absolutely rubbish. And funnily enough, it never actually happened. Like, I think we just ended up messing around with little sketches and didn't actually do a proper show.
Don't. The first time I watched Blood Brothers, I sobbed my heart out.
See, I didn't study it at school. I only read it as part of that, and I did find it really upsetting. But it's just not like something that you'd get like 9 to 11-year-olds to perform, is it? Probably.
I wouldn't have. No, no. I follow somebody else on TikTok that's into musicals, and they talk about like the junior versions of shows. So they do a junior version of Heathers and talk about the word changes. Yeah, doesn't seem again all that appropriate.
There must be a lot of word changes. Although saying that, I've seen like I follow some friends' kids on TikTok who were like 14 and 15, and I've seen them doing bits from Heathers and been like, I don't know where to look. Like, is this a thing that teenage girls are doing now? Like learning all the moves to Heathers and acting it out, wearing really short skirts?
Doing dead girl walking or something like that.
Well, they were doing Candy Shop and like doing all the dances. And I was just like, okay. I don't know whether to like this or not because, so close and talented dancing, but it's weird, isn't it? Because I would have watched it when I was 14 and probably done the same thing, but maybe not wearing the tiny little outfit to go with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know how I was when I watched the original film either. Christian Slater.
See, Kev showed me it. I discovered Christian Slater in The Wizard and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, but I don't think I'd seen anything else he was in. And Kev was like, "Let me show you Heathers, Pump Up the Volume, True Romance," and we watched them in the
Gleaming the Cube.
Gleaming the Cube. Yes, we did. We watched. What's the Billy the Kid? Is there a Billy the Kid one?
Oh yes. One of the Young Guns ones. Is it?
Yeah. There's Young Guns, but isn't there something about that Helen Slater was in? What's that one?
It's Helen Slater that played Supergirl.
Yeah, she's in it, and we were convinced. Well, Kev tried to convince me that they were related. They're not related. There's a film that they're in together. I think we've watched just about his whole back catalogue. Very Bad Things. Some better than others, I have to say. Yep. And there's a film where I don't remember which one it was, but he doesn't live very long in one of the films we watched, and I was really annoyed.
Something Heart, where he has.
That one's really sad. Then there's one like there's like
Untamed Heart.
Untamed Heart. But then there's like a thriller one where I thought he was going to be a main character, and it's like gone in about 5 minutes.
Christian Slater was one of my teenage crushes.
Yeah, I thought he was great. Robin Hood and The Wizard. I was just like, if I'd watched Heathers.
The Wizard.
It's really good. It's about a little boy who is amazing at computer games. And
Fred Savage.
Yeah, and Fred Savage plays his like middle brother, and Christian Slater plays his older brother. And Fred Savage kind of takes him on a road trip to do this computer game competition, and like Christian Slater is the brother, and then the dad's quite famous as well. I think the dad might even be Ted from Buffy or somebody like that.
Oh, yeah. Chappie.
I could be wrong.
I can't remember his name.
I'm picturing him, but it's somebody quite famous anyway. And the little boy, I don't know whether he's got some kind of learning difficulties, and I feel like he maybe can't speak or is an elected mute.
Since his mother passed away.
Oh yeah, so I think he'd suffered a tragedy and not spoken. Okay. But then he kind of came out of his shell playing computer games, so it's really moving. Really good. I mean, it was good when I was watching it in the 90s. I'm assuming it's held up. But that was one of those that I really liked. And one of my first encounters with Christian Slater too. God, it's
I need to watch it, and then sometimes I have watched things, and when I start watching it, I go, "Oh yeah," but that one doesn't ring a bell. So.
Yeah. Excellent. Yes, I mean, True Romance is such a good film. I'm kind of wanting to watch it now. I can hear the first bit where Alabama starts speaking, like saying how she basically traveled everywhere to find a true love. So good. The soundtrack's amazing. The cast. I mean, is it Dennis Hopper who plays his dad and has that scene with Christopher Walken in the like he lives in a trailer, I think, doesn't he? And they have this big like standoff of words between the two of them. It's like amazing acting. Okay, I'm going to watch True Romance this weekend. What's the plan for the weekend?
And Crafts was hilarious because I saw it at the cinema with all the swearing in, and then I don't know if you've got the version where they just do the weirdest sounds to bleep out the swearing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it might have been my video VHS version, but they literally went.
Oh, really?
But these weird sound effects over the swears.
We've got an American DVD, and I feel like it doesn't. I feel like I'd remember that. That's the one where he talks to the camera, isn't it? Where he's like dancing with his girlfriend, then he'll turn around and talk to you like directly. There's not many actors that could do that and pull it off, but Christian Slater definitely does it.
Yeah, breaking the fourth wall, they call it, don't they?
Yeah, that's the one. I love when it's done well. I really love that. When it's done badly, it's really bad. Like I like in Deadpool as well. Like in the Deadpool computer game. It's brilliant where he's just standing there at the beginning of the game and all these achievements keep popping up and he's like, I'm not even doing anything, come on, stop giving me achievements, and they're just like ding 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 over his head. It's like got the silliest achievements, like the stuff you have to do to get achievements is just, it's a really fun game. I'm kind of wanting to like play Deadpool and watch True Life this weekend now, neither of which I can do with a 3-year-old around, so like my evening.
No, slightly inappropriate.
Also, when you mentioned Lost Boys earlier, my brain went, watch The Lost Boys, although I only watched it. Did I watch it like, I showed it to Mia definitely towards the end of last year. She'd never seen it. And I was like, okay, we're watching The Lost Boys today. So yeah, we did watch that. It must have been last autumn, I think. So it's not been that long. But I do feel the need to watch The Lost Boys about every 6 months and start to get a craving for it.
Yeah, I read the novelization just before Christmas.
Did you?
Yeah.
How was that?
Yeah, it was good fun actually. Although they'd added bits like from Lucy's point of view about her fancying Ed, and I was like, I could have done without that.
That's a weird perspective to go for, because it's an interesting film as it is. I can never work out if it's aimed at adults or if it's aimed at is it like a teen film or is it an adult film? I'm not really sure.
Is it Michael or is it Sam that's the point of view character?
It's interesting from that point of view because you do really follow both of them and feel like you really get to know them both. I mean, Michael for me because of the age I was when I watched it, but maybe if I'd been younger, again, I think Kev might have shown me that one. I owe a lot of my favorite films to Kev. I think my parents probably strategically showed me certain films growing up, and then because my dad had a video shop, I think he showed me the stuff that he was aware of, but obviously some of it that was great. I used to borrow so many films for free all the time.
That's amazing.
And he drove taxis.
I do remember going down to Blockbuster. It was fun.
There was a Blockbuster quite near where my mum worked, and me and Kev would drive over to Blockbuster, and then my poor mum on the way to it would have to detour to drop them all off because you usually got 24 hours to watch them, didn't you? And I loved it. A night, going to pick a movie at Blockbuster and then going home to watch it. It was so great. You don't get that experience now. Okay, I still scroll down memory lane. Let's do another sprint. I'm going to read some more saves and see if it keeps firing up my brain cells. This is really good. I feel like I actually can start writing this book in the next 200 years. I was starting to lose
amazing
because sometimes really with Mina, I it took a while to figure out exactly who she was and who her sister was, and as soon as I knew who those two were, it just exploded and I knew who all the characters were. I think Jared had some weird names to begin with before I settled on Jared. He was called Kale at one point. I don't know why.
Kale.
Yeah.
As in Kale.
Yeah. I don't know. That was a brief.
As in the vegetable.
I couldn't find a name for him. And then I think I might have watched some Supernatural and gone, Jared is. None of my names are very deep.
Is his name, so that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And weirdly, people quite often say that they imagine Jared Padalecki, and I'm like, nobody's Hawaiian. He's not. He's young Jason Momoa. He's not Jared Padalecki. But I mean, he can be Jared Padalecki if you want. But in my head, he's Jason Momoa, circa Baywatch.
Have you got a thing of who you were picturing on your website?
No, I haven't. Some of them I don't dare to admit because I've just basically ripped off who a real person is. They're all Hollywood celebrities. None of them are people that I know. Della's basically Tessa Thompson, although I don't think I knew who Tessa Thompson was. When I first wrote Della, I don't think she'd been in films or I'd not seen her. And then I saw a film with her in and I was like, oh my God,
that's Della. Yeah,
it was Thor 2. And I was just, and we watched the Apollo Creed film. Is it Creed, his son? I think she's in one of those, and I was really like, oh my god, she's just Stella, this is amazing. If anybody would like to cast her. Jared's definitely Jason Momoa. Yeah, there's a few other characters that are like real actors as well. Mina and Libby aren't, they're just from my head. Kind of with the hair of Star from Lost Boys. They've got Star's hair, but not how she looks.
She's got good hair.
She has. And the cover illustrator asked me for like pictures, you know, to compare characters, and it was really hard for them because I was like, they're not a real person. Like, the others are all kind of composites of people, but they're just completely fiction. So they were hard. I went for young Ariana Grande, weirdly, in the end. I found a picture of her with this big hair, and I was like, okay, she could be Mina, that's fine. And she could probably be Libby now that she's a bit older, like further down the line.
I love it. I think you should do a blog post.
Maybe. I feel like somebody, I think there might be one out there. I don't know if somebody asked me to do that
maybe
one.
you did it like a guest one somewhere.
Possibly. I might redo it, although it would be really embarrassing because some of them I even use like versions of their names. You'll work out my kind of clues as who people are.
But that's fine. I think all of us do that as writers. Like, I'll embarrass myself now. So not in the book, the book that I'm currently working on, but a different one. I have created a drug name. I called it Rankin X after Ian Rankin.
Oh, I'm sure. I think he'd probably quite like that. Actually, I think he'd think that was pretty funny. I think that when that book is published, that you should admit that, and like get Ian Rankin involved, like. See, again, we had a similar thing, Sharon. So obviously could get stuff through my dad, but our local spa had a video concession in it really randomly. And the guy who owned it had the same name as my brother. And for some reason, because of that, they sparked off kind of a friendship. This guy in like his 30s and me and my brother who were in our teens. And we got on really well with him, and he just let us rent anything. And kind of our parents had said it was fine. We'd take them home and terrify my brother, and I'd be like soaking it up. Like, I know you did last summer and stuff like that. And Ash is like, my eyes.
Amazing.
No, I do this with films as well. Kev and I as teenagers sometimes. Nice. Like, I showed Kev Existence, this really random. Have you seen it? It's a Jude Law film. You need to watch it. It's really good. It's about a woman, and I'm going to mess it up because it's Aisen's watched it, but she's a computer game designer, and she plays a game and stuff's like going wrong in the game, and you watch the whole film like not knowing if like there's bits where you're like, is she playing the game now? Is she not playing
reality
the game?
And
like,
what's not?
It's a bit like Matrix. Like she plugs herself into it and then she's in the game, but it's more for fun than the Matrix. But yeah, Kevin and I watched that and then rewound it and watched it again. Like, you know, on a video you'd have to sit there and like manually rewind. So no, I get that. What book is it, Kay? I don't know whether you said earlier what you were reading, but I totally get that feeling of wanting to like soak something up you enjoy.
Well, I have to show you the books that I got today, actually, really quick. An arc of Simon James Green's Barrington Stoke book.
Oh, that's a nice book.
And
nice. Oh,
Tempest of Tea.
That's on my list of stuff I want to buy.
Vampire Heists.
That's gorgeous.
I somehow managed to have ordered 3 versions of it.
Oh, I don't think I've ordered any versions. I keep looking at it thinking I should order that, but I've not.
Well, look, that's the Waterstones sprayed edge.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to see if they've got any of those left.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah, Kay needs to tell us what the book is. Okay, let's do a sprint, and then by the time we get back, maybe Kay's told us. Oh, I know. There we go. Oh, I remember you mentioning that last time, and I have that on my shelf. I need to read it because I've had it for ages. I'm going to do it.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
Oh, it's really nice.
You do, yeah.
I'm going to see if they've still got those. Okay, so are you going to carry on reading The Babysitter's Coven?
Yeah.
I'm going to keep reading Save the Cat and making notes because I'm feeling, like I said, quite inspired by it.
That's good.
Yeah, it's exciting. It feels like, I was saying to Kirsty, I think before we came on, I've had a few weeks of not writing that much because I've been doing some freelance stuff and just life stuff. So now I'm trying to like get myself back into it with a new project, which is weird. I've written one other thing since Mina, but it was kind of similar enough to Mina, and this is quite different, that it's just taken me a bit longer to get in. Oh, I've already put that up. That's great if you're enjoying yourself. I definitely get the getting fixated on something. I think more lately, I would say I read things once just because I read less than I used to. Definitely when I read a bit back in the day, and I wasn't working and stuff in between and writing, I would like finish a book and then start it again. So yeah, definitely been there. Right, let's go to number 40 minutes. And we'll see you on the other side.
See you on the other side. Bye.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Totally got caught by surprise by that kitty. I looked a few minutes ago and I was like, oh, cool, I've got 3 minutes left. And then the next thing I know, it's like, whoa, it's meowing at me. I ended up, I don't think I put these on social media yet. I've been writing like little Mina bookmarks.
Oh, nice.
Bookmarks, postcards. You can tell.
Postcards.
I keep like reading them and thinking, oh gosh, I'm too tired to be writing sensible messages to people. Because I always do like a little card with stuff that I send out. So I'm feeling a bit sleepy, but I'm going to try and push through and do a few more in the last one because
oh, bless you.
Kev's designing.
Have you got bookmarks this time?
Yes, I've got bookmarks. I've got a special little goodie that I've worked in collaboration with try not to give it away, with somebody who makes them stuff on social media that I really admire. So it's been lovely. They've made me something as well. It's going in there. And then Kev's making his usual designed up stuff. So Kev's doing some little business cards and stuff for me for some of the businesses. So
oh yeah,
for everybody to see.
Exciting.
So how did you get on with the Babysitters cover?
Yeah, good. I read a few chapters that time. I'm really enjoying it. Like you said, the voice is really authentic teenage, and I'm kind of getting sassy Matilda vibes. Sassy Matilda as a teenager vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, interesting. The new girl has kind of just arrived in school, but that's as far as I got. Just got to the dodgeball scene. Funnily enough, my book has got a dodgeball scene in it as well.
Oh, has it? I've read more than I thought then, because I've read up to I think I'm about up to there. I've literally just read a dodgeball scene.
Just
a few chapters in.
Chapter 5, I think.
Oh, I have read more than I thought then. What was I talking about?
So I just started chapter 5.
Yeah. I haven't had much time for reading this week, so I've been just reading little bits of that in between. Kev's tidying up the toys around us, so if you can hear strange noises, like that noise was Nathan's little toolkit being put together. He's got like a little what are these things? Totally forgot what
level.
Yeah, that's level. It, spirit level. Oh dear, too tired. Don't do enough.
Too tired to word.
I know, too tired to word. I don't do enough DIY either to like for it to be my common language, because that's Kev and Nathan stuff. Like I do enjoy it, to be fair. Like I love building a shelf or something, but it's just the time thing, isn't it? Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Vix. Thank you for reading along. Yeah, I thought so too. I wonder if it is more of a teen book than a YA book. I don't know. It was in the YA section when I bought it. It's weird because some of the content is quite mature, I think, but the way it's written is quite young. What do you think, Kirsty?
Yeah, I agree. And it's weird. For some reason I thought this was an older book, and it's 2019, so it's not kind of hideously old.
No.
And obviously the content it talks about IRL and stuff like that. But it kind of seems old. Maybe it's just because it's taking me back to my teenage years.
Yeah, it does remind me of Babysitter's Club with a bit of an edge, which I think is what it's meant to be. So yeah, I'm sort of wrestling with that a little bit. I am enjoying it, but I think because it's different than I expected, it just takes a little bit of time to...
I don't think I ever read Babysitter's Club.
Oh, I think you'd like them, Kirsty. They're especially like the kind of nostalgia thing. I read them when I was 9 or 10, so they're probably not super like current now. Oh, hi, Adrian. As you know, you can pop in at any point. I'm sure it'll catch up with the discussion. Where? An American film. Made in Romania, set in France. Like typical film. It's not very good.
Wow.
Awesome. Original. I love how you always come in with things I've not heard of to add to my list to watch. Yeah, the dressing by theme is very fun. I haven't got to that many of the themes yet, but I like the way that's going.
Sylvia Plath on something, I think.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Sharon. Yeah, you'll probably get one at some point. I'm going to be slow. I've literally just opened the packet, so I've not written many yet. But as I send stuff to people, I tend to send them out. Are you getting nibbled?
He's play biting at the moment.
Oh.
I'm so I'm going to see Jay Christoph in Bath on
fun.
next Friday, and I checked with the bookshop whether I could take the dogs because my parents are out, so can't have them in the evening, and they said yes. So I'm thinking of dressing him up in his little Halloween bat wings.
Oh, I think you should. I think that would be very appreciated. I haven't managed to go to a Jay Christoph event. They're always really far from me, and book events in general are just not at a good time for me these days. It's like 7 p.m. and I'm like, bedtime.
Yeah,
so except
I'm
for
going to
my
be
own
back
events,
late.
yeah, I'm not really making any of them. But it's just that's a particular point in your life, isn't it? There'll be a few years like that, and then I'll go back to going tomorrow, I'm sure. Look.
No biting. You.
Oh, another Jay Christoph fan in the chat.
Oh.
Right.
Well, randomly, I think I'm getting a copy of the book with my ticket, but I've already got like a few copies coming. So if anybody isn't getting one and would like me to get one signed, let me know and I can send it on.
Actually, I wouldn't mind if you don't mind getting one of those signed, and I'll buy it from you. If you've got one that you're not bothered about, that'd be great, Kirsty, because I do need to read those at some point.
I will. If I do it, I'll definitely post pictures, Sharon. Yeah. Oh well, I will do that then. I will.
Thank you. Sorry, everybody. I'm on screen, so I got to jump in there first.
That's right. And then I can tell him all about your books as well. Make sure he's read them.
So I am. I'm doing an event in Doncaster, which is where I live, and I've got one that hasn't been confirmed yet, but I'm assuming it's happening for Goth Weekend in Whitby. There's been talk of some in different places. I'm having a marketing and publicity meeting on, I think it's Friday next week, so I should find out more about those, hopefully. I think they're pitching me for stuff, basically. I've been pitched for MCM and Yark this year again, so hopefully I'll get to go to, ideally, both of those if they want me. It just depends if they can, if there's an interest and if they can fit me on the panels they're doing, so fingers crossed.
I hope so. I've got tickets for Yauk again.
I probably won't attend MCM if they've not got me there as an author, because the book bit isn't quite as big there, but I will certainly be going to Yauk regardless of whether I'm invited or not.
When's Goth Weekend at Whitby?
April. Well, I think there's a couple of them in the year. Originally, as far as I know, it was October, and then they now do one in April. So hopefully I'm going to do something at the Whitby Bookshop and then possibly at the Abbey as well, because they've got a cool bookshop there. But yeah, like I said, I've been asked to do it, but I haven't heard. In fact, I'm glad that's reminded me. I need to chase that up and check that I'm actually doing that, because I need to book somewhere to stay. Yes, please. Definitely. Right. I'm going to pop the last timer on because I'm getting super sleepy, but I'm going to power through. Write a few more postcards. Are you going to keep reading, Kirsty?
I am going to keep reading now. I'm into it.
Cool. Okay. Well, see you in half an hour.
I will assume the position.
Yes.
See you then.
Hello, once again. I was not ready. Busily multitasking. I think you muted, Kirsty. Hello. How'd you get on?
My headphones turned off. I got distracted by my phone.
Yeah, it happens. I've done well. I've written a little pile of postcards and got a few addresses for people. So yeah, trying to be productive. Stuff like that always takes so long, doesn't it? Like you think, oh, I've written a couple of postcards, and I'm a bit of a ponderer about stuff. Like writing short things is harder to me than writing long things. So
yeah,
I
and of course I'm using a receipt for a bookmark.
Oh yeah, of course you are. How many bookmarks do you own? And you've used receipts. This is me as well.
Many.
I can't find the book I'm reading. I'm using like a little note that a friend wrote to me at some point. And I've like taken it out of the tub of bookmarks to use the scrappy little note. It's just what we do, isn't it?
Just, I mean, to be fair, I have got, I don't know if I can show you. I've got a bookmark wall.
Oh right, that's cool.
But their display, my 2 Mina ones are up there.
Oh, thanks. Make sure I give you a third at some point. I'm sure I'll see you at an event that I can pass it on.
Yeah, definitely.
It was hard actually because the fourth one, like the characters only, I don't think I've got on to hand, but the characters like barely fit on because there's 4 of them. I was like, I didn't think of that when I saw 4 characters on the cover. Like I wasn't thinking bookmarks, so that like squeezed in the middle a bit, but Kev managed to squeeze them on.
He's a good egg, isn't he?
He is. Well, my brain is melting, so I think I'm gonna have to go. But thank you for coming on tonight. I'm glad we actually managed to chat. And that my going upstairs was always in sprint time, so I didn't actually miss anything of the chat.
That's good. That's good. Well, I've been bitten by something. I've got two little marks. So like a vampire fly or something.
Slightly improved weather and like the flies and the mozzies descend. Thank you, Sharon.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody who's been in the chat. It's been lovely as usual. And hopefully I'll see you all soon. I don't know when I'm next doing a sprint. Hopefully Thursday next week, unless something else comes up. But I'm going to try and do a few more, like I said, because I'm getting into my new project. I want to kind of build and keep some momentum. So hopefully we can write together soon, maybe on screen, Kirsty.
Yeah, that'll be good. That will be good. Like I said, I'm writing all weekend, so I thought I'd give myself the night off tonight.
Yeah, well, if I manage to find that synopsis, I'll send you it because I just can't understand. Like I've checked my email, like I must have emailed it to my agent, can't find it. Like I'm gonna turn on my old computer because it must be on there if it's not my new one. So
yeah, thank you. That'd be super helpful.
I'll try. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I must have written one for Mina and the Undead at some point, but I don't think I've written one for my agent. I think I just wrote one on submission, so I probably have a really old version of that as well somewhere, but that could be like 2 computers ago by now, so you've got more chance of Mina and the Slayers. And I haven't written one for Cult, which is going to bite me at some point, isn't it? Because someone's going to ask for one and I'm going to have to go, oh, okay, I'll write one tonight. This is what usually happens.
No.
I need it for this thing. Can I have it by tomorrow? And I'm like, oh, the thing I was probably meant to have already written. Yeah, okay.
Why not? They give you a word count as well?
No, I mean, last time she said to me like a few pages for something I was working on, and it turned out she meant like double space pages, and I hoped it meant single space. So luckily she cut quite a lot of it out for me, so I didn't have to do much. But anyway, I'm going to sign off now before I just keep rambling. So thank you everyone for putting up with me. I'm so sleepy tonight. Hopefully I'll be more awake when I see you all soon. Bye.
Bye everyone.